Oh, good morning. You should have seen me 5 minutes ago. Oh, God. Complete agony. Pain. Oh, but anyways, I decided I gotta be the voice screaming for the veterans. For the wartime veterans that are in pain. Uh, so, I got up this morning, I looked at myself, I go, oh my God. I gotta get it together. I gotta get it together. Oh, Holy Father, in your presence I have the Eucharist. I'm praying this prayer in the presence of Almighty God. I'm pleading for the veterans that are in pain because those are seeking pleasure. They're eroded it for those who really need the medication for pain. Everybody's afraid making a drug addict out of a person in pain. It's justifiably so, because that's how it happens. But what do? You gotta be moderate. Moderation. Oh, I discovered how to get rid of 99%. But that 1%, oh man, it's worse than kidney stones, cervical stenosis, spinal stenosis. Your, your nerves run down through a channel along your spine. And when you get older, your spine chokes it to death. And what excruciating pain. Worse than kidney stones, for sure. I've said that twice now, because I've had several kidney stones. There's a story that goes along with that, too. Oh, let me get myself together here a little bit. I want to print in front of the camera. I can't find the brush. Anyways, that's my dilemma. I got so much on my plate, so many things going. Sidetrack Bill Nixon. What's my one of my? Uh, I'm a producer. We're all producers. This is the age of producers. You gotta have props. You gotta have an idea of what you want to say on the video. So when I got up this morning, I says, "Has anybody videoed somebody in pain, excruciating pain?" I'm gonna try. Oh, here I am, the voice of the second chance. Hopefully, the voice of the second chance saying, "Help us veterans that are in really bad need. We're not here for recreational. We're here for because we need it. Open your ears, you young doctors that weren't even born when we were in Vietnam fighting for your freedom. You're in charge now." I went to the emergency room to tell them about my emergency, and they discerned me, the young doctor. I'm not going to tell you if she was male or female, but they discerned me. And they said, "You don't look like you're in pain. I don't think you're in pain." And I said to myself, I didn't confront her. She's in the position of being a doctor. She earned it. But I thought in my mind, he said to me, "I believe in God. I have good discernment." And I thought in my mind, you don't have good discernment. Maybe in a lot of things, but in my case, you don't have good discernment. because you say I'm not in pain, and I'm in agonizing pain. I drove 70 miles to get here from Binghamton because I was in a emergency ward down there. They were sitting around me, puking, coughing, hacking. Only thing I have between me and COVID-19 is the shield, the miraculous metal promise. You wear this, I'll protect you. And I've been wearing it since it broke out. And I haven't come down with COVID yet. So, I'm going to go through the procedures I've discovered through my painful experiment. I'm a degreed person. I've studied psychology and philosophy, theology, sociology. I've got 200 credit hours, college credit hours, with a halfway decent grade point average. So I'm going to try to find a way out. I'm trying to get out of this pain. Maybe not 100%, but just get it down to where I can manage it. Oh, the doctor says, well, we're going to give you hydrocodone. 1 every 8 hours. The acetaminophen 325. You're only allowed 3,000 units of it a day, or it kills your liver. But I have the hydrocodone and I mix with the Tylenol. And I take it once a day, and I'm pretty good about only taking one. I have taken 1.5 because I just couldn't handle it, but I had. But you want to know? You really want to get rid of the pain? You take your medicine and take the whole bottle. That's how you get rid of your pain. And I'm not that stupid. So he says, I gotta find a way. There's gotta be a way. Anyways. Interruption. Constantly interruption. Now, you gotta use the bathroom. Okay. Alright, do your thing. Alright, but anyways. Oh, now where did I go? I lost my train of thought. Parkinson's. I got Parkinson's. Doctor analyzed me in front of my wife at the VA. After put me through a bunch of testing, he says, yeah, I'm diagnosing you as having the beginning stages of Parkinson's. My wife broke out in tears. I sat there, I'm going, wow. Yeah, see, it goes and comes. In your mind, you can't remember what you're doing when you're doing it. What am I doing here? I get on my phone. It's probably a normal thing to do, but mine's abnormal. Oh, I look at it. Honey, you're distracting me. I can't concentrate. I'm sorry, baby. I understand that. You have to live your life.
I won't be out for another hour.
Okay, thank you. I love you. Yeah, right. It's even hard after you're in pain to control your temper and your mood and everything for your wife, who's in pain, who broke her leg. She's in a wheelchair. Oh, from anxiety of my pain, because I holler and shout and scream. Oh, God, can't handle it no more. I want out. Life. I want out. Kiss my ass. I'm out of here. That's what I feel like. And all I hear in the background is a bunch of laughter. Demonic laughter. Oh, we've never heard that one before. Kiss my ass. I want out of here. Well, getting back to the doctor, she says, I believe in God. I have good discernment. And you're not in pain. I mean, underneath my breath, I'm not going to confront her. I said, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't respect your discernment because you said I'm not in pain, and I know I'm in pain. So, young lady, believe us veterans. They come to you in pain. We're not faking it. We're not out for the recreation. I'm seriously pleading. There's got to be something. Oh yeah, I can go out in the street and I can tackle the fentanyl, and God knows where I'll end up. I got more wisdom and smart discernment to do something like that. Oh, I got my works here. I'm going to show you what I've done so far. First of all, getting rid of the pain naturally. That takes work. You gotta stretch it out. You know, I got a little contraption I made up here. It looks like complicated, doesn't it? It's just complicated. I got a buckle here. I got it on here. It's just sliding up and down. This is a cinch belt. You put your foot in here. I know. And then you can cinch it down loosely. It's not real tight. And then you can put it around your ankle or your foot or something and lay back. And let me show you. Words are poor vehicle that express what the heck's going on in this world. What other way we got? We got is, you know, I wear the cross. I don't have to preach because it says everything. But everybody's looking at, how does he act? What's he doing? Everybody's perception about you is different. Then people can look at you and make discernment, 10 different answers. I got a video that I did earlier that explains all that. But anyways, being a student of sociology, I'm no biggie. I don't know all the answers. I studied all the therapies of theology. Also about different things that happen in life. I think I got pretty good discernment because God said, there's a formula. You confess your sins, and you go to communion, and you avoid the near occasion of sin, and love me with all your heart and soul and mind. That's the formula. And you follow that, I'll bless you and your whole family to be saved. You've given up. You come to me and give up all your sin, and I'll bless you. So even your enemies love you. That's what Jesus said to me in prayer. And we're sitting right here now in the presence of Almighty God. Through His Eucharist, the true body and blood of Christ. He's here. He's among us right now. He's listening to all this. The truth must be known. So I look in the back. Oh, there's so many things I could tweak to make a presentation. But you're not looking at what's around me. Maybe a few blips here and there. You're listening to the content of my pleading for humanity. Where's the empathy? Where's the gratitude? They water faith. And faith, when you put it in God's hands, He says, I'll take care of it. Trust me. No, I do. That's what I do. But I'm not just sitting around waiting for Him to snap His finger and say, let there be light. That was another whole new different concept. The same man, the same God, man, that said, eat my body and drink my blood. If you don't have any life in you. And everybody looked at this. Eat his body and drink his blood. The sarcasm in the background, a demon said, oh, come on over here, Jesus, let me take a chunk out of your arm. Oh, that blood, let me suck that blood up. Is that what God meant? No. He said to St. Francis, rebuild my church. St. Francis, he realized God just told him to rebuild it. So he goes out and he finds great big stones and boulders, mortar. He's going in there, he's going to rebuild God's church. Is that what God meant? We all know what God meant. He wanted the soul of man to come alive again and realize. And how do you do it? In his church. So, to get back to the subject matter, pain. Because the hydrocodone I took just about 7 o'clock-ish. It's 7:29 right now. I feel a little bit better. It makes me talk. That's what I find out about. It makes me talk, relaxation. If I'm not standing up, pressure on the cervical, on all the lumbar, 4, 3, 2, 1, S1, S2, whatever. All that coccyx bone area pain. Oh, God. I don't want to even remember how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Just the thought of it. So anyways, I'm a wreck. I got up this morning. I looked at myself like, what the heck? You want to make a video looking like that? I go in. Look at me. I don't even know how to do my beard. I never grew hair before. I never did this. In my old age, God said, I'm going to change your image. You're going to become a character, a different character. Oh, people will say, well, he's strange. He's kind of like different. Oh, and I do. I change my character all the time, different hats. Let's watch this character. You're gonna like this guy one. This is being a producer. You gotta have props. You gotta have an environment. You gotta have a subject matter, and then you gotta have the experience, and then you can talk about it. And if you pursued what I'm going to talk about in a moderate, holy manner, not in a lustful manner, you take your drugs and you say, "Oh, give me some woman or something." I'm looking for doing something that's playful, relaxing. No, you can't have that frame of mind because the effects of what you're taking are different than if you took it and praise God after you took it. You prayed. And you can't take a lot of it. You can only take a moderate amount. God says, "Don't get higher than me." And I'm going, "God smokes pot?" I thought. And he didn't mean it that way, like he said to St. Francis. He said, "Don't get higher than me." In other words, did you ever talk to a drunk? You look in his eyes and you're trying to talk sense to him, and he don't have any idea what the heck you're talking about. He's just off in some road someplace. And, "Here, take me there." You get there, and he says, "I don't know why I'm here. I don't know where we are. Where are we?" So that's what I mean. God says, "Don't get higher than me." In other words, so high you can't even listen to his word. He wants us to be moderate when it comes to taking the drug he made and invented. He grows on earth. You can use it or you can abuse it. And you can use it. God will. And the church even says medical reasons. You can use it. Oh, that's what I do now. I take the hydrocodone and I got myself a card, medical marijuana card. In other words, I'm under supervision of a doctor. And she says, "Now, don't take too much of it because you'll start coughing real hard." And I understood that. Whenever I do start coughing, I said, "Well," I remember that. I go, "Oh, she told me taking too much if I start coughing real hard." I mean, you're going to cough. Everybody's going to cough. I tried to take it liquid. I took it 2-3 times a day. 50 m, maybe 1 m, 75%. Then it went up to 1 m. I'm drawing it out from the bottle and under my tongue. And I did that for a whole year. I lost 120 pounds. How? That's my secret. But if you put it all together, if you're smart and you're a doctor and you're listening to this, I'm not talking as an ignorant person in front of you. I'm talking as a person that went through it all and has a knowledge, a background of what you're looking for. All you psychoanalytic people in the future will probably see this tape. Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing it in the Lord. take your hydrocodone first thing in the morning and you wait about a half an hour. You don't take it all at once, you know. Glutton. You know, hurry up, get it in you. Oh, I feel better. No, that ain't how it works. I gotta make my character a little bit more squinchy, I guess. Everybody's got their thing, right? Well, anyways, you take it and then you sit back and you relax a little bit. Don't get up on your feet and start walking around because you can't do that. And you're lucky that you made it to the bathroom after you wiped the piss off the floor. You pissed before you got to the toilet. The pain is so damn bad. Anyways. They're screaming. Listen. Somebody's out there screaming. Listen. Somebody's out there screaming right now. I think they're being beat by their husband. It's what? 7:37. And I don't know if it's morning or night. I just woke up myself thinking it's morning. It could be night. That's how it gets when you get to be this old. I'm 73. I'm not a 20, 30-year-old jackrabbit hopping all over the place. I'm the old snail turtle. And I'll get there. I'll get there. Anyway, so you take your hydrocodone. You sit down and you say, oh, feels good. I feel talkative a little bit. But I don't feel like picking up the guitar and singing songs. There's a way, though, that you can pick up your guitar, sing songs, without being really addictive. Hooked. You can take your... I do two different ways, because I can't take it eating it anymore. Because after I lost 120 pounds, I was starving. You think, oh, marijuana. Oh, he's got to be hungrier than the Dickens, you know? He's got to have an appetite. And I did. Oh, I wanted a big steak, potatoes, a nice tall, cold drink, bread with some butter on it. Oh, it doesn't get better than that. And I sit down at a table, and I got it in front of me, and I take 1, 2 bites. And it's about, I don't know, a couple minutes. And I push the plate away and say, I've had enough. I did that for a whole year and a half, just about. And I lost all that weight. I went to the VA and they weighed me in. I was 353. When I went back after I took the liquid marijuana, I weighed 228.8 on the Richter scale. I want to say Richter scale because the vibrations that went through the VA when they saw that, they said, what did you do? How did you lose 120 pounds in less than a year and a half? I said, it's a secret. You don't reveal to me and help me out in my pain. I'm not going to share what I discovered with you. was in tears when I first went into the office because I was in so much pain. The nurses went, "Oh, he's crying. We've never seen a veteran cry. They're wartime heroes. They don't cry." Oh, after I established that they gotta see it. They don't listen to what's coming out of your mouth. They gotta see it. You gotta project it too. They gotta. It's like my cross. You see the cross. I don't have to preach. You know what it is. But what are you gonna do if I don't preach? You're gonna watch me, aren't you? You're gonna say, "What is his personality like? How is he functioning in life?" Well, moderation. Jesus says moderation. It's okay. Catholic Church says it's okay if it's under doctor's supervision. Because I felt so guilty because so many years I was underneath the table, puffing. And then I reached a state in my life where I was an athlete. This is my teenage life now. This is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then God says, "Wake up. You're a man now." And he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, "Bill, I want you to walk another road." And he says, "But you're going to have to clear it first so you can walk the path." And I says, "What do you want me to do, huh? I'll do anything." He says, "I want you to confess your sins and then give it all to me. Surrender. Surrender." And I'll take it and show you my love. It's been a walk. I remember the street corner. I don't have to go into detail. Everybody knows what the street corner's about. To my embarrassment, I look back 50 years, more years, and there's people still that know me that are alive. Bill Nixon, he's religious. You're not a prophet in your hometown. Definitely. Whatever he does doesn't impress me because he was a scumbag. I'm in my hometown because I'm here because my wife's family's here. And she needs her family's love because they love her. She's a good woman. I love her. I love her even if she is a bitch. And I'm telling you, diabetes will eat your brain away and make you a bitch. The one person you love the most that loves you the most. You're looking at each other. Diabetes. I got the beginning stages of it. My sugar's been up to over 200. But usually it stays around 130, something like that. But hers is 450. So, what's that doing? Eating her brain away. And I gotta put up with it. And I say, "God, till death do us part, I'm gonna be faithful." And at 50 years old, she says, "That's it, Bill. There's no more conjugal relationship. My body is worn out. I can't take it. And you're too rough. I don't think I was. Thank God. I was an adventurer when it came to making love to my wife. But I'm not going to go into that silly suggestive talking, and I'm not going to go into that detail. Oh, our love, 15 years old. I found her 15 years old after I prayed. God, is there somebody in the world that I could love me? I had lots of girlfriends. Ray could have been in love with me if I loved them. But I didn't have that spiritual connection with anybody except with Susan. And that's what kept us together. We needed each other. He came from an alcoholic family. I came from an alcoholic family. And we don't want to go into our abuses because we want to be positive, thinking positive, and give any glory to negativity. We grew together. We wanted to get married at 16. My mother and father says, no, that's not going to happen. And then my wife, she's hated them from that time on. But she put up with them, and she was nice to them. But it was deep down inside, you don't think I'm good enough for your son. That's what the thought was. I was the one that was in love with the heart. He wasn't bad looking either, but I was in love with her heart. Oh, that's what got me. And then once we turned almost 20, I married her. 5 years just about, contemplating, should I tell her to take a hike or should I stick around? Look at all these beautiful women. Oh, man. After I got married, God said to me, oh no, no more going around committing mortal sin. You're on a straight and narrow road now. You've got to repent, confess your sins, receive my body as much as you can possibly. So, that's what I did. And it's been a long, long, complicated road. But if you keep your faith in God, He'll see you through it. Remember what He said to me. You give it up and you love me. I'll bless you and your whole family to be saved. I don't know, I was thinking, well, they're going to see. They'll be embarrassed because I'm walking around with the cross on my neck. That's not normal. And God is using me as an example. High school dropout. Why? I had a testicle that wasn't in the sack. And I went from my physical to play varsity football because I was JV super champ, really. I played offense and defense. The whole game, I was pooped. I was good, though. I played with my heart. I had a vision of a scholarship. I was a small guy, 5'10", 170, 75. I got in college, weight went up 200, but I was shape. I could run with the deer. I ran with a silver medalist from the Olympics 72, I think he was. He used to work out at SUNY, Harper College at the time. He'd run around the track. Wintertime. I go there. They didn't know I was young. They just thought I was a student. Nobody carded me or anything. I just went in and I started running. What I knew about him. Nobody told me, oh, the silver medalist is running. I go, good. So I get in there and I don't know, he must have been already running a mile or two. And I joined in. We went another 3 miles. Boy, he put me through the ringer. I stayed right with him, though. We'd sprint one time around, and then jog one time around, sprint one time around. Did that for 3 miles, approximately. I wasn't counting. I just know from working out there. I know what you feel like after 1, 2, 3 miles, you know. I ran sometimes 5 miles. But on a regular basis, 2 to 3 miles. Which I should have ran a lot more than that. What? Because you don't just become a champion because you worked out a little bit. You have to work out hard to be a champion. Oh, I ran with him. He put me through, like I said, the ringer. Oh, this guy wants to stay. I'm thinking about what's going through his head. Oh, he wants to stay with me, huh? He think he can do that? Bam! He took off sprinting. I'm going, let's do it. Oh, I went right with him. And I stayed with him until the end of the workout. Then he looked at me and he knew I came in at half point of his workout. But he had the realization that, hey, you are in bad shape. What's your name? I told him, I'm here, you know, I snuck in, you know. I'm a high school dropout. I'm going to be a professional fighter. I hope to be the champion of the world someday. Who knows? He goes, well, you're in good shape. Good luck. And that was it. I never saw him after that. But it was, God wanted me to tell that story. I'm sharing it. That's what happened to me. I've got some stories that are gonna knock your socks off. You pay attention to my channel here. I'm a newbie. YouTubey newbie. Oh God. But anyways, to get back to the subject. Now, after you take the hydrocodone, how do you take in the THC for the medical marijuana? I was trying to ingest it at once and it made me so sick. I couldn't even eat. I lost all that weight. I quit doing it. I went back to huffing it, puffing it. And the doctor says, well, if you do it that way, you're going to cough a lot, you know. I know from earlier experiences. I gave it up for a couple decades of 15, 16, 17, 18. And then after that, I was pure. I didn't smoke marijuana again because it was illegal. I couldn't take it. My conscience couldn't take it. I smoke it and I'd be paranoid because somebody's going to catch me with this. I'm going to go to jail. Good God. They're going to come after me and make a woman out of me. I don't want that. buses went on strike. And I couldn't make it back to the ship before it took off. I watched it going over the horizon. I turned around, huffed it back to the house, made a phone call. Couldn't get a hold of anybody. They were gone on a 30-day, maneuvers. They call them maneuvers. I sat home with my wife, just came from New York, California, San Francisco. He sat home, and then I went through the whole show. After the ship came back, I had to go pay the piper. And I paid. And I was sent to incarceration for 30 days because I was late for ship's movement, missed the ship's movement. I called in. Nobody documented it. I talked to a guy on there. He said, "You better get your ass in here because we're taking off." But he never documented it. Then I called and I needed assistance to get back to the ship because the buses were on strike. And I couldn't hitchhike because there's killers out there. They were killing people. Hitchhikers. I was scared to death to hitchhike. Didn't know what. But I hitchhiked anyways. When it came to the final moment, I said, I gotta get in here. And I hitchhiked in. Just as I got there, the ship had already taken off. I watched it. It was going over the horizon. I says, now what? I'm in deep doo-doo here. Oh, I paid the piper. I went and served my time. That's the only police record that I have. I was never a gangster. I never got to that level in my public life. And God, I was serving Mass every day on the ship before that happened. I was an altar server with the priest. He said Mass. I was on an aircraft carrier. And I just coming back from Vietnam. They didn't, put me through debrief or anything coming back from Vietnam. And there's a story about what I went through over there with friendly fire. Right to the point, hand grenade went off right next to my head because of somebody being pissed off at me for some sleeping in his bunk. Because there was 75 people on the ship. Supposed to be. And we had 157 people on the ship, and everybody had to maneuver, sleep in this bunk, sleep in that bunk. Everybody wanted the air conditioning down under, but you still sweat like a pig. And I, being a boot camp guy, there was one guy, he was a petty officer. And I had to sleep in his bunk. He jacked me up one day in the baggage room. I don't know how he got me to go in there, but how we got in there. But he put his hand in my throat and put me up against the wall. He said, "You son of a bitch." He says, "Don't sleep in my bunk anymore. I'm sick and tired of feeling and smelling your sweat. You sleep here on these bags." There was a baggage room for everybody's duffel bag was in there. "You sleep in here." I don't even know if it was air conditioned or not. No, I did. I slept in the room. Being a boot campy. I knew I could knock him out so hard. He wouldn't be walking around for days. And he would be still in a haze after I got done with him. I was in shape. I was myself up, but I could have done one. I could have done something very surprisingly to him. But okay. I slept in the baggage room. Then everybody started asking me, why are you sleeping in the baggage room? I told them what happened. He said, he can't do that. Well, I went back sleeping in the bunk. So he can't do that. Anyways, I'm just pulled a big double shift Rocket 1. We just got through and wore, well, probably, I don't know, thousands of rockets on some village somewhere. And I was tired. I went to sleep. We went back to Cameron Bay to load back up because we had blown up all the rockets, 5,000 rockets we had on the ship. I mean, they were like 3 feet long and at least 8 inches or more, 10 inches. I think they were 10. And they went into the launchers. We shot them rockets out. 16 of them every 3 seconds. I mean, leveled people's living, dwelling places in minutes. I call the puff of the sea because in the distance all you saw were the puff of smoke. And 16 rockets heading for their target. And boom, 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 boom. Kaboom! We hit our, what was, the planes were flying over. He said, oh, there's an ammo dump right there. Radio back. Tell them where it's at. And our rocket launchers were on them. And the ship would be going like this in the water. But those launchers were on a swivel. And they stayed right on the target. And we, bunch of nincompoops down here throwing the rockets on this conveyor and putting them in the rocket launcher constantly, as fast as they could push the button for them to go off. They loaded it back up. My job was to put them out with a fire extinguisher. They didn't take off, and they just sat in the launcher hissing. My heart was in my throat several times until the asbestos man came. Asbestos suit. He had asbestos suit. He got their rocket out of the launcher. Good God. You wouldn't believe it. Freaking anxiety. Turn it on the water so cool down where the socket is for the rocket. The launcher itself, you have to cool it down. I tried to put it out with my fire extinguisher because the fire hose was on fire. Shooting out from the back. Sparks. It looks like you're a welder or something. You're cutting through metal or something. Those sparks come out of the back of that rocket, right onto that fire hose. It was a charred mess after it got done. He couldn't use a fire hose. And I put a fire extinguisher. The fog coming out. That was my job during Rocket 1. I had started out as a bosun's mate when I first got to the ship. They had me painting the decks and stripping the paint, doing all that kind of rut work, grunt work. And then complaining after I got done with it. You didn't do that right, do it over. I was a bosun's mate, third class petty officer, first class petty officer. And he says, showing me that, hey, I can make it miserable or I can make it enjoyable. That's what he was trying to put us. So I got thinking, I got to get out of this. This is crap. I'm not going to do this all the while I'm in Vietnam. No, I just got out of welding school. Before that, I went to welder school. I made it known that I was a welder. Oh, you can transfer out of bosun's bay. You can transfer out of that department and go into the welding department. Engineering. Whole new different environment. That's how I got into that environment of being an engineer on a battleship. We had a big 5-inch 58. Kaboom! The whole ship would come back when that baby went off. Big, beautiful mansions. Headquarters for the VC. Spotted by the planes and helicopters. We'd miss it. We'd miss it. And then we'd hit it, and everybody had their heads off cheering. All I saw was arms and legs flying out the windows. I had my binoculars. At least that's what it looked like, arms and legs. I didn't go check it out. But I was feeling better because my fingerprints weren't on the bombs. Because I had a new job, a new situation. Friendly fire. So I'm in the bunk. I'm sleeping. In this guy's bunk again. And he's in charge. We're in Cameron Bay. Loading up again. And we got lights around the ship. We're throwing hand grenades over the side of the ship. Oh. Any VC down there trying to put a charge on the bottom of our ship, good luck. And who was in charge of that? The guy that jacked me up in the bag room. Petty officer. He had a bunch of booties, boot campers, you know. Oh, they were having a blast pulling them in, throwing a grenade over the side, you know. And he told them, throw it right over there. Throw it down over there. Just drop it down there. Boot campers going, okay, hold the bit. Throws it over. It goes down. Kaboom! Right next to the ship. I don't think he was probably that far away from the ship, maybe. With that thing going on. It cracked the A-frame inside the ship. There's those big A-frames that go down. That percussion of that cracked the A-frame. I saw it when I woke up. Because he did it when I was deep asleep. Right in the middle of my... I was in bed because he was on duty. That's how it was going. So he knew where I was. And he let that grenade go right off by my ear. Saying, you son of a bitch, get out of my bunk. Oh. I was planning on getting him back. But he was blessed because his duty was over. He was on last week. I remember him when I saw him. He was leaving the ship and he looked at me and smiled. Like, too bad you're not going to get me back. And boom, he was gone. But I was shell-shocked. And that's how I left Vietnam. I left Vietnam shell-shocked. Fatigued. Puking all the time. If you're a young child, you have a bad time in the car, going someplace with your family or something, you're puking. Don't join the Navy. You get motion sickness. There's a lot of people that don't have that. You know, they can take a Dramamine or whatever it is, and smoke a cigar, and laugh at you in your face, saying, "Hey, hope you feel better." That's the way they were too. They wanted to puff up their chest and say, "You got to be a man." sickness, child, motion sickness. I should have never joined the Navy. I should have been in the Air Force or someplace where I'm on solid ground. Air Force mechanic. I would have loved that. I never gave it a thought, though. I didn't have that discernment when I was that age. I lost out on a lot of good decisions. I could have changed my whole life, but I did what I did, and here I am. And I'm thinking, did I forget where I was? Yeah, kind of like what we were talking about. I took the hydrocodone. I'm feeling better. I feel like talking, which I am right now. I haven't taken any marijuana yet. I'm going to do that here in a minute to show you how you get the pain to almost go away. Almost go away. Oh, what do you do? I'm smoking wax now. He's what? Smoking wax? What's he talking about? Oh, they make wax. They make wax in two forms. There's the see-through, and then there's the clear wax, and then there's the wax candlelight, and you take a little chunk of that, and this one. In a little thing like this. It's cumbersome. I take a little pinch. I put it in. Now this, the white stuff is more body. The transparent wax, or whatever they call it, is more of a mental high type thing, like, but the body, I'm going to use that right now. Put the cap back on it. They come in these little things like this. 30, 40 bucks. I've had this for about a month, because I don't do it all the time, but when I'm hurting and I want to get the pain down to where it's manageable, I do it this way. It's called vaping. Vaping. They did a study on it. They had a great big, huge canister, see-through glass with cotton in it. And it had a side that had it stuffed in where you could put your stogies or whatever, cigarettes. And then they had another jar, the same thing, where you put a vapor. You know, one of these things, huffing on it. And then when it huffed it in and huffed it in and put it through the process and everything. And then after it does that for, I don't know, 24 hours or something, they cut it off and they go back and they take the cotton out. And where the stogie was in there, you know, the cigarettes and stuff, it was dark black, gooey in the cotton when you pulled it apart. But when you went and checked out the canister that had this in it, He pulled the cotton out, pulled it all apart, looked at it. There was no residue at all. And just a slight tint. You know that something was going through all that. But there was no goopy, gooky, nicotine-like substance. I'm comparing nicotine to smoking a stogie, you know. So I vape. I discovered it. And you can also vape the flower. There's another canister. You put the marijuana flower all ground up, you put it in there. And then you hit them 5 times. Well, this is low battery because it's yellow. But it's usually green when it's fully charged. And you let it process. I turned it back off because I'm not going to use this. I'm just showing you what it is. Okay, so back. You put your wax in there. I put a bigger chunk in there usually, so for visual effects. I'm not going to off the whole thing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stay right on this till it's all gone. You put your little cap back there. And then you go over here and you push the button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a little green light comes on. That means you're fully charged. And then you hold down on the plug, or the button that you push, you hold down on it. And you ten, 15 seconds. And just so you can see it, it comes out. Right? You're going, okay, now I'm going to wait a minute and a half, 90 seconds or something, 2 minutes. See where it's going to take me. Because different days, you know, your body reacts to it differently. You can take 1 puff and then not want one for another hour or 2. And then you can take 2 puffs. Find out 30 minutes later you need another puff. Now, it depends on your chemistry and your body and stuff, how this affects you. But if you overdo it, you're coughing and choking and hacking. It's miserable if you overdo it. No, God says moderation. Catholic Church says it's okay under doctor's care if it takes the pain away. And it takes the pain away, almost. It takes the pain away while I'm sitting here. But if I stand up and that pressure, cervical stenosis, in between each section of your spine, there's kind of like a foamy rubber, kind of like a cushion. And they bulge and pop. And all the fluid runs out and everything, and the bones start rubbing each other. I got that too. Forgot to tell you about that. That's what I got too. I'm having an MRI done here whenever they get around to it. I put in for it a month ago. Still haven't got the paperwork or haven't called me in or anything. So anyways, that's what I do. I do this 3 times in an hour usually. I mean, once it's on, you just push down on the button. And then 10, 15 seconds. I mean, if you want to pass out, you can pass out. You hold your breath for a minute or 2. But I don't recommend This is good enough. No, I do that 3 times in an hour and a half. All depends on how you feel. You can feel when you need to do it again. And I sit here and I don't have any pain at all. Right now, I'm sitting here. I had pain when I was talking to you earlier. Couldn't tell. That's why the doctor said to me, "You're not in pain." I have a big tolerance for pain. I've had pain my whole life. I was born in pain. They yanked me out of the womb with these. Grabbed my head, pulled me out. They couldn't get me. My neck was like this. I was like this for 6 months. Couldn't put my head back up. My dad was embarrassed. I said, "What do we have? A cripple?" I had a child that's not going to be normal. That's what they thought. I can remember being hit over the head with a baby bottle when I was 1.5 years old because the guy I was sleeping in his old crib. He was 5 years old. His mother was babysitting me, and I was in the crib. And he come up and he looks over to the side, sees me in the crib. He sees my bottle. He grabs the bottle, drinks it all up, puts it back down beside me. Now, I don't know how to talk yet. I just know how to cry. But I got a brain. I can picture that whole show. So, I start crying. He's going, "Oh, you shut up." He grabs a bottle, whacks me over the head with it. "Shut up." His mother hollers out, "Roger, what are you doing in there?" Now I see it, why don't you come in and find out? He's beating me to death in here with my baby bottle. You can't make this shit up. I'm telling you right now. You can't make it up. But anyways, I got a sense of humor about everything. God's blessed me with a way out. Believe me, he cracks jokes to me. All of a sudden, boom. If they were any stronger, I'd be saying, "God, don't tell me jokes anymore. You're gonna kill me." The only one that could make me laugh, gut laugh like that, was my father. He was probably one of the funniest comedians on Hollywood. He had his own little bar. He went to, and Donnie, good guy. "Oh, come on over here. Sit down, buy you a drink. Tell us some jokes, Donnie." I did. All psyched up. He's got all these guys, big wig people too, very influential, money-wise. He was a direct. He had his own car business, so all these people bought cars off him and everything. So he was out to please, and he had his own little way of doing it. And my mom didn't really say, well, it robbed our relationship. She didn't like to see him go to the bar. Well, that's where he made his money. He had his friends, and they came and they bought cars off him. He didn't. He needed that. He had his own business, He worked for guys, too, but he had his own business. So anyways, he's in the... "Donnie, come on over here and buy a drink. Tell us a joke." And he's probably told the joke 100 times. But he'll laugh at that joke and make you laugh with his laugh. Just to set the humor. I mean, my dad looked just like Rodney Dangerfield. No respect. No respect. He looked just like him. But I'll tell you this. I never laughed as hard at Rodney Dangerfield as I did with my dad telling his skit, his jokes. I wrote them down while he was telling me. because he gave me a private show. He took me to his bar, and it had a stage, a microphone, whole works. Dad never told anybody. He was a joker. I didn't want Mom knowing he was bringing in extra bucks too. Who knows? He had hide it from him because he had to spend it on his friends, and propagate, throw the seed, water it, with your jokes. That's what he did. He'd get a few drinks in him. Oh, he'd tell them jokes 100 times, like I told you earlier. And he'd laugh at them just as hard as when he first told them. And his laugh would set the tone for humor. And you'd start laughing because he's laughing. He had this laugh. He was a comedian. If he would have had the right people, he had his own little show. But if he would have had the right people behind him, the manager and all that stuff, he would have been famous. Everybody would have come to the nightclubs to hear Donnie Goodguy tell a joke. Yeah, that's how good he was. I wrote down on the back of a paper plate in front of the paper all the titles to his jokes he was telling. I filled the front and the back of the paper plate, and I was writing small titles. And he went one after another, after another, after another. I said, Dad, how do you remember all this stuff? He only went into the 8th grade. He used to sit around at night and read those Western novel books. Whole book in one night, just about. There was nothing wrong with his brain. He was smart as could be. He just didn't have the degree. Oh, anyways. My mother was orphan. He was brought up the last of the children of 14. My grandmother was a singer, a beautiful singer. She lived in France, Italy, off and on, because her father was a French nobleman and her mother was a peasant. And they couldn't marry because you couldn't marry a peasant if you were a nobleman. So they had a mistress-like type relationship. But she was the offspring. She was the daughter of aristocrat, French. And one day she got ticked at him. He was at a big banquet-like type situation. She came in, screamed out, and she was his daughter, and blah, 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 blah. And she wants to go to America and become a singer. Well, her father had put up with this similar situations, but not as probably dramatic as this one. But he says, okay, I'll send you. Save faith in front of all of his friends. I'll send you. My father's going to send me to America. Okay, I'm ready. Packed everything up. On the boat she went. Arrived in Duluth, Minnesota. Somehow she took this boat and that boat, this train and that train. She got there, walked off the boat, and there was this little, I don't know, medium-sized Italian guy. His last name was Monteleone, the mountain lion, the caped warrior. And here's this little Italian guy looking. Oh man, she's beautiful. Wow, I'm being blessed by God. I know he said that. He had to. And he took her by the hand. She's going, where are you taking me? He says, well, I'm going to take care of you and everything, we'll get you all set up and everything. And he took her to his farm. And he didn't marry her, I don't think. But she had to try to get away from him, or escape, get out of the situation, go do what she came to America to do, to be a singer. And he kept her in a little room. She had 5 kids before she stopped trying to get away. My mother was the last, the 14th child. How beautiful was my grandmother. She turned into a big, heavy, depressed, anxietized grandma. I remember, Tala, Tala, Tala. I still don't know what the heck Tala meant. I'm Irish, I'm Italian, I got French in me. And a Welshman stuck his head in there somewhere, from what I hear. But I don't know. But Irish and Welsh, same thing. Oh, man. Now you think about it. That's what my mother went through. 7 years. She caught cooties because the old farm not clean and everything. My grandmother couldn't take care of her anymore, so she said, "I'm going to put her in an orphanage and take care of her. Maybe they can take the bugs out of her hair." Oh, anyways, that's where my mother ended up. Orphanage, 7 years old. Now I'm telling you like I sensed it and how she told me and what I got from it. I'm telling you the story. So I don't know how on the button I am as far as facts go and everything. You know, I'm a storyteller, remember. I'm trying to paint a picture of what went on. And I'm way off track because I was probably supposed to finish this. But you see how I'm saying? I get into being sidetracked and I go off into a whole different dimension. I've got videos I bet are coming up on the horizon. I don't know, I might be famous someday telling stories. Call me Uncle Grandpa. I didn't have any children, so I got a lot of nephews and nieces, though, from my sisters and my brothers and stuff. They had children. Their children had children, and their children had children. I'm 3rd generation uncle. I'm the oldest in that side of the family. I'm the oldest male now. All the other ones have died. And not too long ago either, but within the last 5-6 years. And they look at me, and I'm in my hometown. They know everything about me. They know probably me more than I know about me. Probably forgotten. Their father was very intelligent. He did an investigation on me. He let me know that he knew what I went through and all that stuff. And I said, "Oh." And I don't know if he revealed it to his children or not. It just seems that I'm being okay, Uncle Bill. And I love you on Christmas and Easter. But we're not going to call you on Monday or Friday or Saturday night or something. Talk to you, see how you're doing. No, I don't have any relations like that with my family. Just recently, I just let it all go. I used to have a tie. I didn't have a beard. I didn't have never had it like this ever in my life. Here I am retired, and I'm sitting back, trying to adjust to my new feelings in life. And they're not very pleasant. They affect everything. My back, my personal relationships. I gotta be a hermit. I can't be friends with anybody. I'm too ornery. You believe that? Look at me. You know me. You see me right now. This is me. I'm not a bad person. I'm a loving, caring, honest person. I'm not what the rumor is. I'm in my hometown. Everybody knows what I used to be. But they don't know what I am now because I'm a hermit. Well, I decided to come out of my hermitage. Here it is. Video. Who's interested? To the perishing, I'm just a bunch of jibber jabber gibberish. But if you have eyes and ears and a heart for God, I can express it to you the way I see it. If you want to reach down in your heart and communicate with me and my heart, oh, are my brothers and sisters. They're the ones that obey the word of God. Do his will, surrender to him. Surrender to him 100 plus %. Let him take over your life. Once in a while you'll stick out and ruin the whole thing like you are right now. You probably have a mess. More on your plate than you can handle. What sense is there in the world? How can I make sense out of this? I'm not stupid. I'm an average intelligence, I think. I've just been through a lot of friendly fire. You can't badmouth friendly fire because it affects you. And you don't want to get on the wrong side of friendly fire because it turns into deadly fire. Oh, I keep my mouth shut. But now, I'm gonna let it all loose. Loose as a goose. Right. Whatever that means. And now I just remembered what it meant. Yuck. See, I have a sense of humor. It just takes an intellect, acquired taste, I guess. But anyways, I love everybody I come across. There hasn't been anybody that I've ever met that I didn't love. It's always been who I was and am, and will be, I hope, forever. Time for a song. What do you got to say? See, I go from complete pain. I take a little moderate medication. I smoke a little killer weed that used to be called. What a label this stuff is. Oh, you smoke marijuana. Stay away from me and my family. Stay away before they see what your spirit is really like. Are you lustful? Are you vengeful? Are you hateful? She suckled him. She hugged him. She listened to him. Questions. Why? Why has God made it so I have to work? Why can't I have complete knowledge right off the bat? Oh, you were nurtured into humanity. Christ was nurtured. He didn't go around at 7, 8 years old and said, "Hey, everybody, I'm God." He didn't even know it. He knew he loved God, but he didn't know he was God. Humanity, God. That's what Paul, Lucifer, and the Archangel, he says, what? God losing it? He's going to become a man, a wormy kind of like creature. He's going to dwell there and he's going to rule the universe, everything from that position. He's going to be a tadpole god. You know, tadpole. Or a little squirmy sperm going up to jail looking for the nest. Jump into the nest. Hey, I'm growing arms and legs and feet. Haven't got any teeth yet. But what are teeth? I don't know until they grow, right? Who knows? Like I said, I'm telling a story. I hope it's interesting enough. You can't write something down on a book like this. Express, emphasize, jump here, jump there. You can't. That's what I do when I talk. I go where the Spirit leads me. Sometimes it's out there, and sometimes it's, oh, I can understand that. Well, anyways, life will creep up on you. Just like, remember, I just did that. That reminds me. Life will creep up on you to where you bear it all because you want help. Those that maybe someday will see this film or the films that I make, God willing. Who knows, this might be the only one I make here that makes any sense to anybody. I might look out though and have a good following and I can support my charity down in Kenya. All the little children being eaten by crocodiles. They got enough tape. I don't know how they did it. It was sick. Especially taping it. He anticipated. He waited there. Watched and waited and waited. Because he knew what was going on. So he wasn't, who's the next victim? So he sits there with his camera, waiting. Each time the children come down to get the bucket of water to take back to their mud hut. And the crocodiles are studying him for weeks. They are his next meal. And these are not animals of this century. These are ancient dinosaurs that never died out. They're still here, calculating, because we are delicious to them. I've heard it said that we're better than a swine to them. We taste better than a swine. Well, you think about it. Those poor little children. Oh, we need water. Oh, I'll go down. I'll get it. You go down, innocently go down. Everybody knows what happens. It's taking your chance, but you gotta have water to survive. Mama needs to cook. Who knows where Daddy is? In the woods hunting. I mean, they're talking about people that are still in the bush with blowguns and spears. In today's society, the caveman and the 21st century man. Caveman stands around with his club. He doesn't have any understanding about the future. He just has his environment. He's got to adjust to it. Oh, he's got a woman by the hair and a club in the other hand. He's dragging her around. He gets an animal and he pounds the piss out of it with his club and cuts it up somehow with a stone. Puts it on the fire. And he sits there and looks out into the stars in the evening, thinking, it don't get better than this. And then you jump into our age. You got a guy who lives on the ocean. He's got a boat in the backyard. He's got a car in the front yard. He's got his family. He's got his friends. He's got his job and his environment. And he sits back and he says, I'm happy. It don't get better than this. Or the caveman is saying the same thing. My question is who's feeling the most pleasure at that particular moment? That's deep thought, really. Think about it. It doesn't matter what people think about you. Guy goes into the restaurant, he sits down, he's looking around, he spots this beautiful woman. He just stares at her like a bird dog. Waiters are looking at him and says, what's he staring at? He's looking, oh, she's beautiful. Oh, we got a ladies' man here, everybody. Oh, yeah, the waiters and waitresses. Hey, he's a ladies' man. Look at him, watch him. There's going to be trouble because she's sitting there with this great big huge football player. As big as Sonny Liston. You know, heavyweight champion of the world. And he's sitting there having dinner with this. They're not married, there's no rings. She's a white girl and he's a black man. But he's filthy rich, too. And it's getting to the age. I bring that up, I say, oh, at my age, that was something. Wow, there's a black man and a white woman. Or a white woman and a black man. Okay. What difference does it make? Nowadays, it's black Chinese woman with a Taiwanese Americanese. Americanese. You got your Japanese. Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese. And you got your Americanese. You know what that is? That's an American knee. American knees. Okay, anyways. Like I said, my father could tell jokes. I don't know if he made them up or not, because I never heard them before. I just made up a joke. Right in front of your eyes. My dad was really good at doing that, though. Oh, he could make you roll on the floor with your gut aching from laughter. He had that sense of humor. Donnie Good Guy, they called him. My daddy. He died. He only made it to 64. His eyes bugged out of his head like Rodney Dangerfield, yeah, but for a reason. He had a thyroid condition. And he tipped him. Once in a while, he'd go after the heavy stuff, too. That's not good. Stay away from the heavy stuff, anybody. Listen to me. I tell you that. Stay away from the heavy stuff. One little shot here and there turns into two little shots there and overwhere. And pretty soon you need three, you need four. Once you need more, you're a drunk. And there's a hard road back from doing that. Believe me, I know. Happened to me. Happened to me before I was 23. It rhymes, doesn't it? Happened to me before 23. I got so drunk on my birthday. I was very sick, that's for sure. I didn't do it a lot, but when I did it, I overdid it. And from that day on, 23, I didn't take any more. Maybe a glass of wine here and there. And a beer. I like a nice cold beer after a hard day's work. There's nothing better than that. I'm not condemning that. Not a six-pack. Moderation. 2, 3 beers, that's fine. Be cool. You got to understand that whatever you do it in the Spirit of God and in moderation. That's the key. There's God. He made the plant. Who made marijuana? God did. They call it the killer weed because people used it in the wrong spirit. God made it for contrite hearts. There's a lot of joy, a lot of relaxation, a lot of not overindulging, but a lot of relaxing type euphoric feeling. I'd rather have this feeling I'm feeling right now than the pain I was in when I woke up this morning. Throwing things around, bitching and cussing. Why am I alive? I want out of here. Kiss me in the ass, life. I'm out of here. Now there was a bunch of laughing in the background. The demons are all laughing. Oh, we never heard that one before. Kiss my ass, life. I'm out of here. We never heard that one. But anyways, to get back to it all, I am the longest film I've ever made right now. 1 hour and 45 minutes. I talked without a skit. I didn't even have a paper with the next thought that I got to bring across. And I can do that hour after hour after hour in the Holy Spirit. I'm a dummy when it comes to the real Bill Nixon. I'm a high school dropout. But when the Holy Spirit came into my life and turned me into a scholar, it was prophesied over me. Nate Cortez, I remember him. He took me to the Holy Spirit Retreat House when I was about that age to be converted. And it was prophesied over me that I would be a scholar. I laughed. I said, these guys are nuts. They're all wacky. I said, I'm a high school dropout. I didn't tell them that, but I How am I going to be a scholar? These guys are a little wacky in the brain, it seems. But I didn't realize that I was going to someday go to Florida and find out that if I go into college, which they'll take anybody if you can maintain a passing grade 2.0, they'll give you your GED, and then you can continue on getting your AA degree. And that's what I did. That's how I got my AA degree. Then I transferred to a minor university, St. Leo College, read theology and philosophy. I was on the dean's list every term. I got the little dean list certificate. I studied. I wasn't great when I was studying, but I was absorbing it. I was planting it. First time I was in class, the instructor, or the professor, excuse me, stood up. He was lecturing us. He says, "Oh, by the way," he says, "I'm an atheist." And here he is teaching theology and philosophy. I'm going, he's an atheist. And after I was there for a couple of weeks, there was people standing up saying, I don't believe in God anymore. They were all going to the Catholic college because they believed in God. But when they got there, I'm saying they were infiltrated by friendly fire. I'm standing there watching. Here's a kid my age. He was faithful when he first came in the room. We're all sharing Jesus. Praise God, And now he's saying, I don't believe in God anymore. I'm giving it up. And the professor, writing down in his book, an A student here. That's what I'm saying. You give them charge, and you're might as well work on a barge as a slave, shoveling the shit over the side of the boat. Because the barge is full of animals and stuff. And you're taking care of it. I met a kid like that once when I was a school teacher. He worked in a barn every day, shoveling the crap, milking the cows, and his dad hollering out, "Austin, get on the bus. It's time for school. Get going right now. The bus is out there." Looks at his hands reeking with crap, shoveling the crap out of the barn, out of the gutters, milking the cows. You got to do the chores before you go to school. Get on the bus and everybody's teasing him. Ooh, ooh. And they walk to the back of the bus. And they give this poor guy his own little space. And they teased him like that. That's why I was kind of like drawn to, that poor kid. Oh, they sent him to my class for evaluation. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this guy stinks like the dickens. But then I thought, I gotta adjust. And I said to myself, you've been in barns when you were a child. You milked cows. You shoveled shit. You've done that stuff. You know about that. God let you know about that. You went to your uncle's on the weekends and you did all that stuff. No, I was thinking, I don't mind the smell of a barn. Maybe I can work with this kid. I'm kind of weird, aren't I? But anyways, I observed him. He was very mechanically inclined. A screwdriver, hammer, wrench, anything. in his hand. He was like a master with it. I go, this kid has got some talent as far as mechanically inclined. And then I heard he drives the tractor at the barn, lifts the bales of hay, brings it all around, feeds the cows. Heavy equipment operator. And I go, the light bulb goes off. This is heavy equipment operator. He can't write his name. He can't read. But he's mechanically inclined. And I said to myself, how are we going to fix it up for him so he can make something out of himself? He's got such a poor, low self-esteem of himself right now with all the kids reacting to his steak. His looks, his hands were green, tinted from the crack. His feet, his shoes were all green tinted. He didn't have time to brush his teeth. Just got on the bus, came to school. How are you going to help me out? The English teacher, she didn't want to have anything to do with him just about. She was filing her fingernails and really prissy, you know. You don't want a stinky human being around here. So, he didn't have any luck as far as learning how to read and write. Yes. Even there, probably in regular school too. He was too busy in the barn. You gotta do your homework. He don't do his homework. He's gotta be in the barn. He's too tired at the end of the day. Being in the barn and being in school. Being in school. Oh, I said, you know something, Austin? You're not scholastically inclined. You're more mechanically inclined than anything. You've got it together as far as that goes. I'm going to recommend you to OCAC, heavy equipment operator. He'll go, no, I can't do it. I can read books. I can't write papers and stuff. I can't do this. I said, you don't have to do that stuff. I'm going to make arrangements so you don't have to do that stuff. I'll teach you how to write your name and maybe put your thoughts down a little bit. But I'm going to make it so I'm suggesting I'm not going to make it. So I talked to the instructor of the heavy equipment operators there, Moses. I forgot his name. I've got Parkinson's. I have short-term memory loss. I do things and I forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So, but I still have it together enough to survive. But anyways, I wish I could talk louder and that this phone here was able to pick my voice up better. But I got the state-of-the-art phone. I got the S22X that T-Mobile puts out there. One of their top-line phones. Over $1,000. They gave it to me for free. I'm not going to go with that. I got another story to say. But anyway, to get back to this Austin. I'm not saying his last name because there's a lot of Austins out there. And you got to be pretty sharp to put it all together. And it was 50 years ago. Oh, you ain't got to get it together. Well, I'm telling you the story so you can see and understand and maybe apply it if you're a teacher. Look for this in your students. They might not be scholastically inclined, but if they're mechanically inclined, they can have a better life than you. That's like I said to my teacher. How much you make a year? And he says, $5,000, something like that, $5,800. This is when I'm 8 years old, you know. I says, that's all you make? As my dad makes more than that. He only went to the 8th grade. So, life is what you make it, I guess. But anyways, getting back to Austin, I said, I'm going to recommend you. So I talked to his instructor and I explained everything in my theory and how I saw it and how what I observed. I analyzed a lot of juvenile offenders, adjudicated by the courts and everything, their abilities, what they did as far as mechanical stuff, small gas engines, electrical, plumbing, whatever. I went to all the night schools. I knew all the basics, enough to teach the course with more than ample background knowledge. I could put things together. So I analyzed all the behaviors of several other juvenile delinquents. This guy here, though, wasn't a juvenile delinquent. He was just a hard working farm boy, wondering what the heck is life going to be all about. I got to do this forever. That's why they leave the farm, you know. Dad made a beautiful farm for him. It was the way of life back in Dad's age. But in this age, I want to be a welder. I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to clean barns, drive tractors and stuff. I did all that. I'm sick of it. I want to be a welder. I want to make battleships. You know, whatever he wanted to do. Plumber, electrician. Go that route. Good God, I met this guy later on in life. He gave me his card. Yeah, a business. Heavy equipment business. Whatever you want. Dirt. Dirt-wise, whatever you want. He'll build it. He'll build a road. And he'll use all his own equipment, too. He won't rent it. Because he knows what he's doing. But don't ask him to write up a good estimate because he probably he's kind of sketchy doing that. Oh, you gotta make sure he's got insurance and he's got liability and you gotta make sure of all that stuff. Because if it's not present and he's on your property, he gets hurt, you're in deep doo-doo. Everybody's, oh no, your homeowner's insurance will take care of something like that. Well, that's yet to be seen. And I got $1,000 deductible. I never get anything free from my insurance company unless I'm broken down on the road somewhere and I make a phone call saying, hey, I need assistance. And they're pretty good about it. I get it right there every time. I got that State Farm insurance policy. Barbara Harry, John Barbara Harry, he showed up here one day. Unannounced. He showed up at my house. I had a thing with his secretary about her knowledge about what something was worth. I asked her how many types of appraisals are there on the house. She didn't know. She got defiant and said, I've been an insurance agent for 34 years. You telling me I don't know what I'm doing? I was thinking, oh, don't heat wood on a fire. No, I didn't say anything like that. And that's what it was left at. So, John shows up in my house out of notice. He says, I want to go inside your house, check everything out. I looked at him. I said, the guy shows up at my house. My wife's in there. I don't know if she's dressed or not. He wants to come into the house and look around. What is this guy? I says, well, no, that can't happen. He says, why? I says, because you're no longer my insurance agent. He got the message. So I said, you don't mind if I walk around because I still have your policy. I want to look around. I says, well, I'm here. Go ahead, look. I've got a construction. I've got a permit. I'm construction. I'm making a new deck on the back. I got all kinds of projects going around. Lumber here, lumber there. Tools here, tools there. He goes, you got to clean this up. This isn't safe. You got all kinds of things happening here that can't be covered by insurance policy, in my estimation. I says, I have a building permit. I'm building. He gets in his car and takes off. Next thing I do, I get a letter in the mail saying that he had sent an agent to assess my property, and he put all this stuff down. So I read the letter, and I said, he never once mentioned that I had a building permit, and that's why there was all this stuff unfinished and laying around and stuff. The building permit is still open. I still got it. It's still open. It was for electrical workmanship. Also, because I had a generator put into my house. They had to open up a work permit. Never been closed. It's still open. They call me all the time. When are you going to close this work permit? So I just let it ride because I'm doing all kinds of things around here. I'm coming back and saying, there's a fine for $1,500 because you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Well, crap, I got a permit. You've been calling me off and on for a long time to have it settled. I told you it's not settled yet. There's still a lot. It's got to be finished. Oh, okay. But they never told me I got to come in and renew anything. Pay something. I didn't pay for a permit. I don't think. Maybe $5. I don't know. They want their $5. Okay. Maybe I'm guilty of that. But anyways, he looked it all over, and an agent that he had sent wrote his report, and they said that if I don't have it cleaned up by the time my policy is due in May, they're going to cancel me. What am I going to do? I took $7,000 and had everything fixed, had a road put in, had ditches and stuff done, and had the whole property picked up and took away in a big, huge dumpster. $7,000 so I can keep my insurance. Oh, anyways, that's where we are right now. I called him up. I says, I'm glad you got me going because I feel better now that I did all this stuff because I've been wanting to make it better. A year prompted me to poked me into fixing things up or straightening things up. Okay, and I've decided not to cancel it. I've decided to forgive you and forget about it. Let's go on from there. And the next thing I know, he's not even there anymore. He moved his office somewhere farther away from me. I don't think he did that because of me, but it's the same. I've got other agencies that are the same, State Farm. They're right down the street. If I want something, I just drop right in. I don't have to go hunting for somebody. I don't know, 10 miles away. I don't know how far away. Further than I want to run at the end of the day after work or something. I don't want to get in my car and drive 10 miles, see my insurance agent. Well, I'm looking for another agency closer by. They could be State Farm, they could be something else. I don't care. Let's see how I get off track. Oh, life creeps up on me. Leads me in other directions all the time. I got a full plate 24/7, that's for sure. And pain to go along with it. You know, it's past. I started 2 hours ago. I took some marijuana. I haven't taken any since because I'm not in pain sitting here. But I'm going to test it right now. I'm going to get up. Hold on. Oh, it won't take me out. Oh, God, I can't even get up. Can't even get up. I got to sit here. I'm a wheelchair. I'm crippled right at the moment. Does it get better or does it get worse? That's what I'm up against. They're talking about a nerve libation there. Kill the nerves. And I'd be able to do something. Because that's the only thing that's stopping me. I'm in good shape. I can go out there and hit that heavy bag. I just bought one. A heavy bag. Brand new. The other ones were worn out. They were gone, you know. So I bought a brand new Everlast heavy bag. Bag gloves and I got a speed bag. I'm not going to fight anymore. But to work out. Moving around. Yeah. I need that. I'm so sedentary. Like, I've been talking 2 hours and now I can't even get up off the couch. Where I was 2 hours ago, up off the couch walking around in pain, but still I was up walking around. Oh. I've got a lot of things ahead. Hopefully I get away from depending on medical marijuana and hydrocodone. But I'm not at the point yet where I'm going to go out and look for fentanyl if I can't get anything. I'm not at that point yet. And who am I, Superman? Everybody knows what the pathway is for drugs. You might not be intentionally being a drug addict for the pleasure. No. There's a bunch of us veterans out there that are old. They need care, and the VA's afraid to help you out. They're afraid to give you anything higher. Hydrocodone, which is the next step above acetaminophen and aspirin. Hydrocodone is a little bit. Oh, there's guys out there. One guy told me, "Oh, I got some stuff. I was driving into trees, backing into fire hydrants and bushes and stuff. That's how good it was." I don't want to be like that. If I was like that, I'd say, screw it. I'm not only a cripple, I'm a suffering cripple now. Because I'm not going to take drugs if I like that and act like that. I'll have myself committed or something. I won't let myself be on the street dangerous for people. I'm here at the Hermitage. I got my own little Hermitage. The Nixarosa. My own little pretend world. That's what drugs do to you too. Put you in the Hermitage. You're a hermit. You have to not hang out with people because you can't get along with other people. When you're ornery with pain, you just can't do it. I fired my best friend for years. He was my good friend. We built houses together and built everything. I was in so much pain the last time we had a job together. I fired him because he screwed up because he was 80 years old. He screwed up. I just didn't overlook it. I just said, "You're fired. Get your tools and get out of here." And he wouldn't listen to me. I was in charge now. I wasn't his protege. I was the one that was hiring him. And he didn't respect that. He didn't listen to anything I told him. I'm up on all the modern technologies and everything, trying to tell him, hey, this metal that you're pounding into, you can't do it like you did your roof 40, 50 years ago. So don't try to do my roof like that. You got to drill a hole first because this stuff is like titanium metal. You can't pound through it. Oh, you have to drill through it. He wouldn't listen to me about that. I did it on my whole barn. I know what. So without testing it, he putting the sheet on. I'm hanging at the end of it, balancing to hold the sheet. I said, go ahead, put the screw in, Joe. Put the screw in. He's trying to put the screw in, but flop, falls inside. Trying to flop, fall. I'm holding on to it. I can't hold on to it any longer. And I had to let it go, and it went down, and it almost took my baby finger off. The metal, the sharp metal. I was so raged. I says, you're fired. Get your tools and get the hell out of here. I felt bad after that because I liked him. He was a good guy. But he doesn't listen. He's got his own thing, his own way of life. You're not going to have some little punk that 10 years younger than him telling him what to do. So he said to me one time, he says, oh, you're a teacher? Really? Yeah. I wanted to twist his nose off his face. He did that to me. But anyways. I think I gotta end this. It's gone way too far. If I've held your interest, somehow you're supposed to be able to acknowledge me as okay or whatever. I don't know how you do it. I'm an amateur. I don't know where to go to do that. But there's going to be a lot more in the future if you want to tune me in as your friend. I'll be glad to talk to you. You can leave whatever comment you think. I just won't read them.